Hi, welcome to Legal Tech Diaries. As you know, my videos are split into two parts. First, we discuss the legal side of the topic, and then we shift into a legal tech side to see how it works in modern legal practice. Today, we're going to discuss the key differences between offer and invitation to treat. Let's start with the definitions. What is an offer? Offer is an expression of willingness to contract, which is made with the intention that shall become binding to offerer as soon as the offeree accepts it. The intention, the offer, is sufficient when the terms of the offer are clear and there is an intention which would bind anyone who accepts it. So the offer can be in a written form, spoken aloud, or by conduct. In contrast, the invitation to treat is an expression of demonstration of a willingness. And this is a demonstration to willingness for negotiations. So that means that is an invitation to offers, and the other party can accept or reject it. It can be that the invitation to treat sounds like an offer, but the words said during the negotiations, during the transaction, are not binding and they are not conclusive. So the majority of the contracts and the offers are bilateral and they are made with the basis promise to promise. This is like the classical example for this, selling the house. The one party promises to sell the house and the other party promises to pay for it. In contrast, the unilateral contracts are made for a broader audience, and one person comes forward with with a performance of that specified act. So let's discuss with an examples to understand it better, the differences. So the items displayed in chemicals show there are invitations to treat. The customer made an offer when he decided to buy them and presenting them into the counter. So this is the supervision in the sale point. And this principle is established in the Pharmaceutical Society Great Britain versus Cash Boots Pharmaceutical Southern case. As a next example, let's talk about the advertisement. The advertisement is generally an invitation to treat. But let us assume, and is it still an invitation to treat when the advertisement offers a reward for a lost pet? In this case, this would be a unilateral contract because the first person who performs the act, so that means who finds the dog and brings it, can claim a reward. This principle is established in the parallel versus carboil smoke bowl, and this is the case of the invitation of this is the case of the unilateral offer, but even if it's an advertisement. So now let's see when it is an invitation to trade. It is an invitation to trade when the advertisement is fish 68 euros. This would be an invitation to treat because then the customer should do his offer and then it could be rejected or accepted. This we can see in the case Patridge versus Citterden. So now let's talk about the offers that look like an offer, like a contract, but they are not. So for this, we will refer to the case Cathedral versus Barry Urban District Council. So the cathedral has hired a deck chair, and and suddenly he was injured, and the council rejected to be responsible for the injury because he said that when he was selling he was giving the deck chair, it comes together with a ticket, and on the other side of the ticket it was printed that the council is not responsible for the injuries. So the cathedral sued the council, and the court said that in this case the ticket is merely recipe because the contract was made already when it was paid and the deck chair was given to cathedral. These terms are hidden terms, and you can sneak new terms after the deal has done. So let's shift to the next example, which is the auction, because usually when it comes to the topic auction, it is the question if it's an offer or invitation to a treat. So now we're going to know about it. So the offer is made the auction. In the auction, the bids called by the auctioneer are invitation to trade, and the bids made are offer, and the auctioneer can reject or accept it by falling his hammer. And this can be established, can see in the case Payne versus Cave and a 57 section of the sales of goods. There are auctions that are with or without reserve. The auctions without reserve are those which has no minimum pay and a minimum price to be paid. And in this case, the auctioneer could not reject the bid, even if it's not, even if it's less than it could be for this item. This case is established. This principle is established in the case Warlow versus Harrison. So when we're talking already about the auctions, let's talk also about the tender and to see if it's an invitation to trade. The tender is, in this case, invitation to trade because it's inviting to submit offers. And this is not for the highest bid, but the but the bid should be submitted. This can be seen in the case of Blackpool Filed Arrow versus Blackpool BC. So we have reached now the legal tech part where we want to see if it's possible to differentiate with a legal tag the offer and invitation to trades. With a simple templates, with the templates, it is possible to differentiate, to conduct them so that the difference between the offer and invitation to trade would be obvious, embedded by the condition logic. And for example, the tenders or the tender system, digital tender system, can enforce a a pre-contract phase, which will be triggered only which will triggered only after the conditions are met, specific conditions are met, and this would be marked as not binding, and would be only effective when, for example, a review or mutual review or formal acceptance is done. Then the smart templates could also have clauses that can activate be activated upon valid acceptance, and this would give the opportunity to remain in the negotiation phase and to switch to the real offer part when the conditions are met. So with the smart templates, it's possible to control and to so that the risks will fall, and it would be more clarity, and it would be more transparency, and easy to differentiate between the offer and invitation to treats. So that's all for this episode. See you on the next episode. Thank you.